Polite inquiries at the Ageas Bowl. George Nobel, roll driver Jared Kimber. WS said, did Sir Jadeja save Cook's career?
I don't know if he saved his career, made him feel a lot better about the summer, because I don't think England would have dropped Alastair Cook. In any case, if they had to do it, they would have done it in the last game.
Tom says, does every future England batsman get 28 innings to make a big score before they get dropped?
He has earned that right by scoring 8,000 runs and 25 Test centuries before that.
You had a period in your career where you sort of looked like a cadaver with pads on, but you came out of it.
Thankfully. and like George said, you know, if you've done it and people can see the success that you've had, I think it just gives you those few extra innings.
He's got to do it again, though. This doesn't answer all his critics. He's got to do it next week. He's got to do it the week after.
Jerk Store Manager says, how many Cook is back articles will we see, totally ignoring the captaincy issues? It doesn't answer captaincy issues, does it?
Well, it does a bit, because I think his main role as a captain is to score some runs. He could have inserted India. That would have been a weak thing to do, but it was a completely legitimate thing to do. And he's led for the front as he did in India. So I think he's done a lot of his job as captain.
I mean, if he scores runs, you know, he just feels a lot more confident about himself, and his captaincy as well will be a little bit more aggressive, hopefully.
Dhruv says, with Ashwin averaging 40 with the bat and so many lefties in the England team, why is he not in the team? And this is interesting because we had Rohit Sharma bowling before lunch on the first day because they clearly wanted to take the ball away. It seems like they keep making the same mistake in not picking Ashwin.
I think what Ravindra Jadeja gives them is control, and we saw that today as well. Even on a flat wicket, you know, he didn't go for more than 2 runs and over, and I think Dhoni likes that. Dhoni likes that control. But if you want to win Test matches, yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, you have to look for a more attacking spin option, and you have one in the team, so it won't be long before we see Ashwin play.
It was a defensive selection, I think. They could have pushed Rahane up to open, still have played Sharma, that's what I'd have done, and had Jadeja and Ashwin.
Andrew says, what the hell have Anderson or Broad got to do to get dropped? What did Plunkett do to get dropped?
He scored 50 in the last game, and I thought he bowled really well at Lord's. You know, he got pace and pitched the ball up, got the ball to swing, created real problems for the Indian batsmen. So if I was at Liam Plunkett, I would be really disappointed to be dropped.
Do we need to change the wording of cricket? Do we need rested for when you're dropped and rested at the same time?
Well, I think it is partly rested, to be fair, but I'm not sure they've got it right in that they're playing 3 swing bowlers in a 4 fast bowler attack. They've dropped the 2 quickest bowlers. I think there's an acceptance that Anderson's probably not going to be played at Old Trafford for one reason or another.
Manav says, why can't England produce good sporting wickets? I'm missing English conditions in England.
This is a ground that's lost money 12 of the last 13 years, and they're desperate for a 5-day test. They're already been bailed out a little bit in this game by the ECB. Ticket sales for every day apart from today are poor. They want it to last 5 days, no way around it. I think it's a poor decision, but when you've got so many grounds competing to host tests, it's going to happen.
Benny says, does India need a specialist slip catching coach? Imagine if they had someone who recently did some coaching with the team who was also quite good at slips catching, who'd be a free.
Who could that be?
Who could that
Surav's
be?
here, isn't it?
Today, Jadeja's catch, for me, was one where probably just wasn't concentrating enough. His mind maybe just switched off for a moment. So it's a concentration issue for me. A lot of them haven't stood in the slips for long periods of time. You know, a lot of these guys, Shikhar Dhawan, Ravindra Jadeja, Rahane, are brilliant outfielders. So it's going to take a bit of time for them to get used to their routines.
One thing I'm not sure that you should lean on here, because marvellous that would be for ratings to see the wall tumble. I don't think it looks very secure.
English Nick says, did the Sharma injury hand psychological edge to England like McGrath at Lords in 05?
No.
Yeah, there wasn't someone to maybe hit the deck and bowl the bouncers as we saw Dhoni use. So there was no one that Dhoni could turn to today and say, look, you know, let's see 3 overs of bouncers. There was none of that. So in that point of view, India did miss Ishant, especially in the form that he's been in.
Rory says, is Gary Balance a new left-handed Jonathan Trott?
He just gets the job done, doesn't he? He's got another gear, though. Yeah. He's got several other gears, actually. I think he's going to be a brilliant player.
He's got what it takes to be successful. I just think how he's going to play spin is going to be the big challenge now when he goes away from England.
Sebash says, why do you think Erasmus adjusted his trousers before giving Cook out?
It's a very good decision.
Do you think he gave himself a pregnant pause just to get it right, and he thought, you know, cameras are on me, just hits these up, and yep, that was out. It was a good decision.
It was a very good decision. So much happening there. It's a brave one to give.
Vinayak says, if England bat well and set a good total, do the English bowlers have it within them to win this test? I feel no, he says. In modern cricket, the minute the pitch is flat, everyone says draw, but it's so rare.
So rare. Cook has actually given England a really good platform today. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't quick, but that's exactly what Test opening batsmen used to do and should do, There's plenty of time. It would be ridiculous to try and guess what's going to happen in the next 4 days.
But England need to quicken the scoring rate, though. They need to have India batting by tomorrow evening.
If you were out there, though, you'd be batting a bit quicker than this.
Maybe.
Parth says, what does yowza mean?
Yowza.
I think this is a KP quote, isn't it?
Yeah,
It means wow.
Is that like a South African slang? No, okay.
I think it's
No.
a noise.
I think it's like 1950s comic.
Okay.
Piers Mitchell says, and this is obviously to Rahul, are the players' shirts too tight in this test? Fair to say, many nipples on show.
Pankaj Singh seemed very tight, didn't it? It's like he didn't give it.
It's like they didn't have one big enough for him.
Wouldn't you be tempted to put a fake nipple on so you had 3? Just no? No, just me.
We'll see you tomorrow.